All right. Hello, everybody. Sam Quinton with Sinopa Publishing right here in Frankfort, Kentucky. And this is going to be a quick video that I meant to shoot yesterday, but didn't get to because I was distracted. My youngest has been a little under the weather, so bear with me. Rayne of Ages issue 4. Our Kickstarter campaign didn't fund, but as many of you have seen in the past, that really does very little to deter me. Nick continues on course, knocking out pages. And I've got a little bit of work I have to do on a couple other projects, but then I'm going to finish up the script of Rayne 5, and we'll be working on that. But we will be coming back with Rayne of Ages issue 4 coming to Kickstarter, and we're targeting for March. Now, to that end, we've had some feedback on a little live stream I did. Just a few people there who posted to the video on YouTube and such, and a lot of people. For me, anyway, a lot of people. 10 people is a lot of people to me to get messages from. But a lot of people. This many. 10 people who posted to me, DM me on Twitter/X. So, thank you all for your kind words and your encouragement. That's freaking awesome. As a creator, seeing people who are excited about your product and your creation and your art and your writing and what you do is just absolutely thrilling. Having people who put a word in your ear or send you a message and say, hey, we hope you come back strong. Those people who encourage and who are very clear about how much they're looking forward to seeing the book come out. I mean, that's awesome. And for most of the folks who have supported this campaign, you've seen me in the past, mostly with 47 Furious Tales. When a campaign doesn't fund, we regroup and come back stronger, and then we fund. So we're going to come back stronger, and we're going to do this. Like I said, we're targeting March. There's a few reasons for that. One, it gives us time to rebuild the campaign. With the time period that comes for when the funds clear from Kickstarter and the time to get the print runs done and everything, the date times that we had set up were really kind of ideal for getting stuff to people at that last part of the year and for most of the U.S. before Christmas. Running another campaign would not do that, so there's really no point in doing it towards the end of the year. We'll go ahead and do that next year. That said, we have been scheduling a February release to Kickstarter with a project we are still keeping secret for now, because we should be signing contracts pretty soon with a license deal that we got for a venerated, well-loved, very well-loved tabletop role-playing game property. And my little company, Sinopa Publishing, is going to create the very first full-color comic for that IP. Something, a game I've loved for years. I have had numerous discussions with the creator, and he's excited. We have our cover in, and we've got one of our first pages that we've done, which was done as a test to see if the art style that we have in mind is going to work. And they love it. The IP is now owned by two individuals. The guy who created it and the owner of a very respected game company. So I get to speak with a couple people I respect the creator of the IP I truly admire. I mean, he created something beautiful with this, so I'm always a fan. And looking at what we're doing with this book, I'm excited to see it. And I mean, I'm always excited to see one of the comics we're creating coming out, but there's something about this one that's a little different. Because I was talking to my brother Shane, and Shane, I imagine you're watching this, so hey bro, I love you. I was talking to my brother Shane, and he reminded me of a time, God, all the way back in like 1994, I think it was, 95, 93, 94, 95. It was while I was still doing security contracts and paramilitary contracting. Way back in the before times, right? And he reminded me that we had gotten done with like a marathon game session. And it was me and my dearest friends, who are actually still my dearest friends. You know, there's some of the people I love more than anything. And I made some comment about how it would be cool to have like comic book stories of, you know, some of the adventures that we played through and these stories that we created through play. If we had like comics or novels and stuff about that. Now, 30 years later, we're making a comic. Now we're adapting one of the stories of the creator of the IP. And it's absolutely, you know, just one of those things that not every, that would be really untrue, but that I would say the majority of the fans of this IP know this story. So we're jumping into the deep end of the pool, taking a hard task by the horns, and we're going to wrestle it to the ground and try and make it something beautiful. And to that end, I put together one hell of a team. We've got Dimitri Torres on line art for the interiors and the cover art. I got the cover art last night. Early hours this morning, something like that. And it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. For those of you who don't necessarily recognize the name offhand, Damien Torres is the gentleman who does the cover and art also for my series, Tibby Time Traveling Psychedelic Mushrooms. Remarkable artist. Wonderful man. Interior colors. The man himself, Nick Capone. Nick, who colors for major multi-million-dollar companies. The man who teaches coloring at the Kubert School. The man who I've worked with now over 7 years, 8 years, something like that. On colors. And that allows us to keep Dakota... That allows us to keep Dakota Erhan on colors for Tibby. And so that the workload is easily more manageable that way. Except for Damien. Damien's going to be drawing his heart out. Lettering. Taylor Esposito. He letters Rayne of Ages. Letters Tibby. Now he's lettering our top secret project once we get that sucker fully funded. Title card, James Lee, who did the title card for Tibby and Time Traveling Psychedelic Mushrooms. And adapting the original short story to comic book formats, yours truly. And I'm able to do this because the IP owner read Tibby, 47 Furious Tales, and Rayne. And he saw the art that we did for Tibby particularly because it was the style that he really, really, really dug. And so this is a perfect example of what I mean when I say that the people who back our crowdfunding campaigns have made such a profound difference in my life. Because now I'm getting to create in one of my favorite settings. You know, absolutely one of my favorite games to play in, and I get to, you know, play in that sandbox while being very respectful of the tools and toys I'm playing with. It's really a great feeling. And to have someone who's working game design, because, you know, I make TTRPG books as well, but to have this man who created this IP, you know, tell me that he likes what he sees, he likes what I do on these titles, and that he's looking forward to seeing what we do with this, man, that's awesome. And I owe that to the people I work with, all the fantastic artists, James Lee, Brian Lee, Alexia Veldhausen. Whew. Couldn't do anything without that woman, I don't think, as far as creatively. She's been such a huge influence. Christian Martinez, Anthony Ojeda, Lotus Blair, Sandra wow, Sandra Cole, Zach Viola. Man, that's a long list. Guys, all of you who are in the Sinopa work group, you know what I'm talking about. Kelsey Cohen Hardigan. You guys made a huge difference. And all of the people who have been pledging their support and who have been making it possible for me to do something I really love doing and do it for a reason I really want to. You know, I've said it 1,000 times probably, but I'm trying to build my company, Sinopa Publishing, into something I can leave to my children, something that will have some value, and monetarily certainly, but not just that, but something that says, you know, hey, my dad made this possible, and he left it to us, so that one day when I'm gone, they have something that I enjoyed making for them. It's wild, man. It's absolutely wild. And, you know, it's not always been smooth sailing. I've made a lot of mistakes, tried to learn from them. I have tried to stand on my principles, and sometimes that's led to business decisions that weren't the smartest. But basically for 8 years now, really, we're into our 8th year. So yeah, so basically 8 years. The folks on Kickstarter and a few folks on Indiegogo for the campaigns that we've run there. Folks on the crowdfunder campaigns and on the Fund My Comics campaigns, but mostly Kickstarter. Those folks have come out and contributed their hard-earned, hard-won cash so that I can create. And that's made it possible for me to do things I wouldn't have been able to do, you know, just because I wouldn't have the money to do it. And not only that, but I mean, it's made a huge difference for the artists that we employ. It's giving them money and opportunity. Mostly the money is the important part because people got to eat. They've built their resumes and forged fantastic relationships with one another. I have so much respect for the artists I work with. And I might put this up in the work group just so they can see it. And guys, I'm sorry I haven't run down all the names, but you know who you are because you're going to see it. You guys have made Sinopa possible. You bring my crazy ideas and make them visible to other people. You forge art that sometimes, from me, comes from some dark places. Not calling anyone out in particular on that, Tony. I just love your work, bro. Christian, too. You guys, some of the darkest stuff I've asked for, you guys have really risen to the occasion and put it out there. And some of the most beautiful things I've ever asked for. We get works from Sandra Cole, Aisha Golsenev, Kelsey Cohen Hardigan, Alexia Veldhausen, Nick Capone, Damian Torres, Brian Lee, Rebecca Coulthard. And the list goes on and on and on. These things that find their expression through their talent and their discipline, and they're able to translate my instructions and bring it to life in a way that I just don't have the skill set to do. That's actually probably why I surround myself here in my little home office with the work that these guys have done for me. Beautiful stuff. Created by wonderful people. Made possible by folks who contribute to our crowdfunding campaigns so that we can pay those wonderful, talented people the best wages we can manage. I should probably learn to edit so I could take out these pauses. I don't do them for drama. I do them to collect my thoughts, so I sound at least somewhat articulate because I'm not working from a script. And if I were working from a script, I would probably sound far more robotic. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said that we got to do more videos and more content stuff on the social medias, so that people are more aware of what we're doing. So we can bring eyes to what we create and hopefully find support for what we create to make that happen. I said I don't want to do social media to the extent that we see so many folks out there who create their own persona. I'm sure in a way everyone does to some extent based on who they're interacting with or what activity they're interacting in. Whether it be writing in a journal or podcasting or shooting a vlog or interacting with different friend groups so you bring out different sides of your personality or whatever it is. I think we all select the face that we're putting on to show to other people. Excuse me, sorry about that. But I don't want to fabricate something that's not authentic. I just like to be me, or at least part of me, which is why I'm pretty convinced that sometimes I'll seem really weird when I shoot these. I probably seem weird most of the times when I shoot these. It's just fact, I guess. This video is about a lot of different things that touched me with regard to crowdfunding in my creations. So we discussed like the recent failed campaign, why we're gonna, why that's not gonna be something to worry about for the people who are fans of Rayne of Ages. We talked about social media engagement, crowdfunding, the absolute joy of seeing things come together. I'm actually surrounded in this office by a mess of beautiful things that people have created that was made possible through crowdfunding. Art prints by remarkable artists. Comics that were printed for fulfillment, the overage of which I sell to raise money for other projects. I have an art print on my wall, one art print on my wall that isn't from Sinopa Publishing, but rather from an artist who I have tremendous respect for and whose work I absolutely adore. And this was made possible because people chose to take a chance on a creator who lives in Kentucky to make role-playing game books, comics, to commission cool art prints and neat mugs and all kinds of other stuff that we've done over the years. And I'm looking forward to years and years more. I like the expression. I like being able to put these projects together and see them come to life. I like to see the look on people's faces when they are meeting me at a convention and they buy a comic and they open it up and their faces just kind of show that they're engaging in the story that we put there. Storytelling's a powerful thing. You can bring relief to someone when they're under a lot of stress. You can take people on these daring adventures in their minds, and you can touch on emotions and let some of your own emotions express outward. It's a damn powerful thing. I'm hoping that you are all having a wonderful week. Regardless of what you've been through, regardless of what challenges you have facing you in the future. I hope that you are having a good week. And I hope that if you're watching this, that in some way, at some point in time, something that we've created, that I've written or published or coordinated or whatever, has some way brought you some joy. I like that thought. Really do. All right. I'm eating up a lot of time. As always, if you have any comments, questions, criticisms, or concerns, please feel free to post them in the comments. Or, post them on social media or message me directly. I always like hearing from you guys. And ladies and gentlemen, 2025 is going to be a busy year as a creator. We're going to be calling on everyone who's ever seen us before and on hopefully hundreds and hundreds of people who've never met us yet as we dive headlong into the biggest project we've ever undertaken, the biggest crowdfunding goal we've ever had, a daunting one, but doable. Can't wait to tell you guys what's coming. It's been tearing me up inside. I'm just like, I'm going to say the word. I can't say the word. I got to wait. I'm so excited. All right. Until next time. Sam Quentin with Sinopa Publishing right here in Frankfort, Kentucky. You guys have a wonderful day.